Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It is a fantastic pleasure to have you here again. So today's episode is going to be a fabtastic episode. Why is it going to be fabtastic?
Because we are fabricating.
Ooh! So, we have all of this box section here, 50mm box, 3mm walls. Now, a big issue here in the workshop has been getting through the fire exit is a little dangerous. So, what we need is we need all this steel that's on the ground to be on a rack. So we're making racks. We're going to be doing some TIG welding. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoy. Now, one of the things to note about cutting box section in a bandsaw, and I'm saying this for you guys' sake and for Sam's sake, because I don't want him to snap one of my bandsaw blades, thank you, Sam, is this is a very coarse blade, so it's a really inappropriate way of cutting through box section. But to make it safe, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the speed, you know, pre-medium speed, and we're going to keep the feed rate nice and slow. Isn't that right, Sam? Absolutely. If you snap a blade, I'm going to be really sad. Hey, Sam, your cricketer days are coming back to you. Whoa, hey! Yep. No! Ow! Whoa! So while Sam's cutting that, I have cleared this welding table. Now this table is a massive lump of cast iron. When I moved workshops, I bought this from the guy who I got to move my equipment for me. And it is a fabulous piece of kit. It is nice and pretty flat. And what this was, as far as I understand, is that there would have been 3 drill press heads bolted to this table, drilling straight onto fixtures that were built onto this table. So it's a nice, level, strong, sturdy piece of kit. And luckily it has T-slots that are the same size as the T-slots on my Bridgeport mill, which means that, as you saw in one of my previous videos, I am able to put these T-slot clamps in there. But to be able to have a quick way of clamping and unclamping, I'm just going to get a straight block of wood on the back side of these clamps. And so we're going to quickly rip down this 2x4, and then I'm going to cut it in 4. It means that now, once I come over with my pieces to be welded, here's a piece that happens to be the same section. All I got to do is set the block on it, give it a little crank, and there we go. We're going to be able to lock everything down nice and tight. I think the best option would be some offcuts of the steel that we're actually using, but I don't know how much we're going to have left over at the end, so I'm making sure that I don't use any more than we need to. And Sam's about to start cutting. Oh, you got the GoPro on?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, happy cutting. So I don't have to go ferrying all the pieces of steel in and out of the grinding room. I'm going to move my truck, and we're going to do all the grinding out here to prep the welds. Because with TIG welding, we want everything clean. First piece of steel, there we go. Let's start grinding. Okay, so everything is clamped down. It is square. I'm loving these T-slots. Fantastic. Most of the steel is cut. Sam's finishing up a couple of pieces. I'm going to tack this up with the TIG welder. We're going to add our triangular brace, and we're going to have a great time as ever. Now here's a really important thing about TIG welding. You need argon. Otherwise, you destroy things. Top tip. Didn't turn on the argon. Let's do that now. Hey, there we go. This piece is all welded up. I am super pleased with that. How are you, Assistant Sam?
Very well.
Up we go. To me. To me. To me. great job here, but what happened there?
It was the tide.
The tide?
Yeah, low tide.
Sam, I dare say, the plan is for the steel to stay up on the rack.
Well, this will be up.
Not if the weld breaks.
Yeah, but this bit will be fine.
Well, this is the thing that's on the ground. It can't go any further down than where it is on the ground.
Meh.
So it's now, we're getting close to lunchtime, and Chef Sam is trying to give Chef Jamie a run for his money. What do you think, Jamie? Can he do it?
Not happening!
Oh, what do you say, Sam?
I say I'm making a homemade sausage and herb casserole with taters.
Taters?
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in the microwave.
Let me just say, I went to Tesco, I bought the potatoes, I bought the sausages, I bought the casserole mixture. It was all my recipe, and he's stealing my credit. Chef Sham is a shambles.
Oh my goodness! Sam, are you really cooking potatoes in a microwave?
Well, I'm just starting them off. You know?
How does this work?
Well,
Hang on a second. New segment, Science with Sam.
Science with Sam!
What it does, it excites the water particles within the potato.
And so that's how you're cooking your potatoes?
Yes, I'm exciting them.
He's making it up! It's all a lie! It's a load of phooey.
I think we need to get the Rockwell tester out, because these things are indeed, I think Rockwell 55 there.
I think you should go with Rockwell. Rockwell's a very different thing.
No, Rockwell 55,
Rockwell.
definitely. Look at this. Hard as glass. Sam and I were just commenting about how incredibly satisfying welding is. Holy guacamole. It is just so much fun, especially considering it was a mere few weeks ago that I'd never TIG welded in my entire life. Now, I'm not saying that this is necessarily I'm not saying this is necessarily great TIG welding, but I tell you what, I am having a blast. This piece is all welded up, that piece is all welded up.
The next morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. As you can see, we are welding away on these steel racks. I remember hearing a lot when I was a kid that you learn while you sleep, i.e., you practice something, you do it, and then it's while you're sleeping that your brain is going through the motions and then learning it. And I distinctly remember last night dreaming about TIG welding, and I dare say I think it is paying off. That was a good dream. That's a pretty nice weld. Learning is such a thrill, and it is so much fun to get better at these things. So thanks for joining me on today's episode. I can't wait to do even more fun things. We're in fact going to have the forge lit in a little while here. Sam is here, so we'll be doing some forging in a bit. But yeah, it's all good. All good fun here in the workshop. Clearly, I'm an expert fabricator, and I really know just perfectly how to use a tape measure. Yeah, that's a problem. And so now it's, of course, time to fix my mistake. There's going to be a slight discrepancy in the height that all these pieces end up, but I'm more interested in there not being a discrepancy in where the shelves of this steel rack end up. So we're going to cut off 50 millimeters from the bottom. The mistake I made is measuring straight from the bottom of this steel, forgetting that it's going to be going on a rung, on a piece of steel that goes across the floor. And so I miscalculated. My bad. Made a mistake. Woohoo! We're through. So now we've got all our uprights done and ready. We just need to work on our cross members. Okay, so here's the plan. What we're going to do is this is going to be right here. We're going to move the toolboxes and we'll tack it all together like this, and then we'll be able to flip it all around and then do some more tack welding, eventually turn it upright, do some more welding, and hopefully this will go well. So the plan now is to do the middle piece. This is really difficult. It's a lot easier squaring it up on the table because we can clamp it down. Here we're just, it's just a case of tack weld a little bit, check it with a square, make sure we're all good, tack weld a little bit, check it with the square, make sure we're all good. And it's a lot easier to weld when you're up on a table. You can brace yourself a lot easier. Being like lying down on the ground is not a good way to TIG weld, it would seem. What do you think, Sam?
Well, just making excuses, I think, really.
Oh, yes, of course. Quite. Right, time-lapse time. Okay, so everything is now tacked up, which means that I can now weld everything. And I think what I'm probably going to do for most of this is just stand it upright. I don't know, either way, I'm going to be able to lift it up, turn it around, turn it upside down, do all the things I can do now that it's tacked, and just start welding, start giving it hell with the old TIG. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking these short pieces of steel and I'm adding on some more rungs to our shelves. Sadly, this is our last few little bits of box section, so that's all we're going to be able to put on out of this box section. You'll also notice it's a different angle. We did those at 15 degrees, but I think I'm going to prefer 10 degrees a little better, so that everything doesn't fall all the way back down into the corner and make it difficult to get out, but also so that it doesn't fall off the other side. So 10 degrees should work, it just means that it looks a little weird. Now, we don't have any more box section, so what are we going to do, Sam? Absolutely. Well, we're not actually making box section. But we're making the brackets that we're going to be using. Sam has some inch-round mild steel in the fire, and what I'm going to do is I'll take a heat and I'll show you what I think it is that we want to work with on, and then he'll do it the way that I showed him, and then it's all going to be great. You're a blacksmith. Lock that in the vise, and we'll take a hammer. Thank you, sir. We should be able to get that pretty close to the 10 degrees we want. So if we say we'll match them all up to that sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
Fantabulous. Hey, not bad bit of blacksmithing there for a farrier.
Well, at least farriers know which end of the hammer to hold.
Oh, what's that?
At the end.
Oh yeah, can you swing it?
Yeah. Get more power and control, you see.
Is that so?
Apparently so.
Yeah. And with those little pieces done, it's now time to weld them on. But what are we going to do to make their life easier, Sam?
We're going to get a pallet, lift it up, and then I will get some clamps and clamp them on as we go along, and then Alec can go along and
Oh no, this is TIG welding. It actually goes like this. Tick, 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 tick. MIG, 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 MIG. That's for MIG welding. Our MIG welder isn't set up yet.
Put the
And everything is welded up. That was a tiring day, but now we are ready to put this... Uh-oh. To me! To you! To me! To you! To me! To me! Oh! We've got a steel rack! Found more steel over here. Hey Sam, what's the bet that I can make it from here?
None. No chance.
Woohoo! I did it! Did you see it?
Good job, Jamie knows how to edit, really, isn't it?
And the steel rack is done! It took 2 days because I decided that I wanted to learn how to TIG weld on it. I mean, I should have MIG welding it. It would have taken so much less time, but I learned so much about TIG welding. I had an absolute blast. And I feel, okay, it's getting towards the end there, my TIG welding, it dropped off, but I'm pretty sure that if I was to sit down and try and run a normal bead on TIG weld while I'm sitting down and while I'm all composed, it would be way better. What a fun thing to practice on. And the best thing is, Sam, right? The worst thing that happens if my TIG welds went bad is like somebody dies.
Yeah. So long as it's not me or you.
Then we're good.
Well, Jamie's fine. You know, he's disposable.
Oh, goodness. He's meant to edit this. He might not edit favorably. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's been an absolute pleasure and a thrill having you in the workshop again today. Make sure that if you're new, you go ahead and hit subscribe. Make sure you go watch another 2 of my videos, and most of all, have a fantastic day. Go make something, go have a lot of fun building something, creating, learning, and just enjoying yourself along the way. It's a huge amount of fun, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.